Admiral Vex stood on the observation deck of the Valiant Conquest, his eight-fingered hands clasped behind his back, as he gazed at the blue-green planet hanging in the void. Earth, the newest acquisition for the galactic hegemony, or so they thought. "Status report," he commanded, his voice gravelly from decades of barking orders across star systems. Lieutenant Dax approached with a data tablet. "All preliminary scans complete, Admiral. The species appears primitive by our standards. Basic space travel, rudimentary weapons, fractured global governance. Standard conquest protocols should be sufficient." Vex nodded, but something troubled him. The hegemony had conquered 47 worlds in its relentless expansion. None had presented significant resistance. Yet Earth, there was something in the intelligence reports that gave him pause. The warning from Commander Krell, "Where is it?" Vex asked. Dax's four eyes blinked in confusion. "Sir." Before his disappearance, Commander Krell sent a classified transmission regarding the humans. "Find it." Minutes later, Vex read the message in his private quarters. Asterisk priority ALPDK. Earth Recon ISANC FI and DINGs asterisk. Asterisk, the human females possess a biological influence beyond our understanding. My crew became obsessed, irrational. Our physiologists theorized their pheromones trigger unprecedented neurological responses in our males. I strongly advise maintaining distance. These women are dangerous in ways our science cannot explain. Approach with extreme caution, Asteris. Vex scoffed. Krell had always been weak-minded, probably fell victim to some primitive infatuation. The hegemony's warriors were bred for conquest, not sentiment. He dismissed the warning. "Prepare landing parties," he ordered. "Standard subjugation protocols." 3 days later, the first teams went missing. "What do you mean gone?" Vex snarled at his communications officer. "No signals, Admiral. All tracking devices went offline simultaneously. The last transmission mentioned making contact with a human settlement led by someone called Lisa. A week passed. More teams vanished. Those who returned were changed, distracted, insubordinate. They spoke of human women with reverence, describing an inexplicable pull, a connection that transcended species. Admiral Vex grew furious. This wasn't about biological compatibility or pheromones. This was about discipline, about the honor of the hegemony. "Prepare my shuttle," he ordered. "I'll lead the next reconnaissance personally." His advisors protested, citing Krell's warning, but Vex silenced them with a glare. "I will demonstrate how to maintain proper military bearing in the face of these primitives." The small town of New Hope, Montana, wasn't prepared for alien visitors, but they'd adapted quickly after the first contact. When Vex's shuttle landed in the clearing beyond the town limits, a small delegation waited. Mayor Anna Thompson stood at the front, a diminutive human with auburn hair and a diplomatic smile. Beside her stood the town's doctor, Jane Williams, and the head of security, Officer Beth Richards. "Welcome to Earth," Anna said simply. "We've been expecting more of you." Vex felt something immediately, a pull subtle but unmistakable. He straightened his spine against it. "I am Admiral Vex of the Galactic Hegemony. Your world has been selected for integration into our empire. Resistance as unnecessary," Jane interrupted, stepping forward. "We've already explained to your previous teams that we prefer cooperation over conflict." Vex found himself staring at the human doctor, momentarily losing his train of thought. He cleared his throat. "My soldiers, where are they?" "Having dinner with some of our townspeople," that said with a slight smirk. "They've been quite helpful explaining your technology. We're quick learners." Something was wrong. Vex felt his carefully constructed plans slipping away. The women's voices seemed to resonate on a frequency that bypassed his tactical mind and spoke directly to something more primal. "This is unacceptable," he snarled. "You will surrender immediately or—" Anna stepped closer, her expression kind but firm. "Admiral, let's discuss this civilly. Our scientists have been analyzing your biology. We understand what's happening better than you do." Over the next hours, Vex learned the truth. Human women possessed a unique neurological field that resonated with the brain chemistry of his species. It wasn't mind control, just an amplification of empathy, trust, and connection that his warrior race had bred out of themselves generations ago. Your soldiers haven't betrayed you, Jane explained. They've simply remembered parts of themselves they'd forgotten. Vex struggled against it, but found himself listening, understanding. The hegemony's expansion had always been about fear. Fear that if they didn't conquer, they would be conquered. The humans offered another path. When he returned to his ship, Vex faced a mutiny led by his own officers. They'd received transmissions from their comrades on Earth. They'd seen another way of existence. "Stand down, Admiral," his second-in-command said. "The invasion is over." "This is treason," Vex hissed. "No, sir, it's evolution." As the valiant conquest departed Earth's orbit, not as conquerors, but as emissaries, Vex sat alone in his quarters. He'd failed his mission, but discovered something the hegemony had never considered. Not all power came from weapons and domination. The humans, their women especially, wielded something far more potent, something that had toppled his mighty warship without firing a shot. In his final report to the Hegemony Council, Admiral Vex wrote only this. Commander Krell's warning was insufficient. Earth's women are not merely untouchable, they are transformative. The Empire has not conquered Earth, and if we are wise, we never will try again. This is not our defeat, but perhaps our salvation as Starist. The hegemony disregarded his warning. 6 months later, they sent a full invasion fleet. None of those ships ever returned to hegemony space.